Daniel, we're back talking Bulldogs, baby. We got a point spread for this game. We got a preview. We got official predictions of what we want to see happen or we think is going to see happen Saturday against Samford. Come on back. We talk all about it.
You are Locked On Bulldogs, your daily podcast on the Georgia Bulldogs. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is up, everybody? I am Daniel. He is Clint, and we are the Locked On Bulldogs podcast. Your team every day, part of Locked On Atlanta. Brought to you by
Upside. More on them later.
More about Upside later. But let me tell you what's got a lot of upside. The entire University of Georgia roster, Clint. A lot of upside on that.
All the upside. Daniel, all the upside.
Here's some things that we've noticed in the comments over the last few days. First of all, thank you all so much for we're back in the season, and you can tell you guys are back listening to the podcast in mass, and we appreciate it. We're having a lot of fun recording these episodes. Hopefully you are enjoying them. Here's what you notice in the comments, Clint. Georgia fans, no matter how much success that you have, there's still some Georgia fan in there, and if you're confident about anything, the Georgia fan will be the first one to be like, why don't you just slow down in your confidence? Why don't you just pump the brakes a little bit? Listen, believe me, Clint and I, we waver between extreme optimism and the sky is going to fall and Georgia's not going to win another game.
On a minute-by-minute basis.
Minute-by-minute continuum. But you just got to ride the waves as they come. And right now, Georgia's feeling good, okay? We've beaten the last three opponents that we've faced, the number 2 team in the country, the number 1 team in the country, and the number 11 team in the country by a total score of 72,000 to 14. Clint.
And Stetson has been not just good, not just managing, not just passable.
Say more.
He has been the best quarterback in all of college football.
In all those games.
Yeah.
Better than his opposing quarterback in each of those games.
That's something. That seems important.
It does seem like something, but, we're just stating facts. All right. Today is Locks Day, Clint, which is a very important day. It's important for a couple of reasons. Number one, we're going to give you exact score predictions of how we think this Georgia-Samford game is going to go. Some games are easier to predict the score of than others. This is not one of those games. I'll just tell you this right now.
No.
You're just throwing darts at a wall at this point. We're also going to give you locks from around college football in segments 2 and 3 so that you can make money. If you followed our bets from last week, you make some money.
You cashed.
If you follow our bets from this week, let me just tell you, we only build from here. We only grow. So before we get into any of that, though, Clint, let's start with the Georgia game. And there's no need to bury the lead.
Let's get into it.
Let's give the score predictions to the people. I'm going to let you go first.
I'm coming out of the gate hot. This game
start with a 7.
This
start
game
with a 7
is going to be 55 to 7.
55 to 7.
They're going to score a late anti-death march. Hold on to the ball when everybody on the field cannot buy cigarettes nor liquor in any state in the nation, and they're going to sneak one in for 7. 55-7, Daniel. That's my prediction.
My score, which I have written down right here, just so we're all clear, my score is very similar to that, but not exactly that. My score prediction is 52 to 6. That's what I think.
Okay.
I think I'm giving them 2 field goals, or Jalen Carter blocks the extra point. Either way, I got 52 to 6, and so we both expect very similar results. We both expect Samford to score more points than Oregon, which, to be fair, Samford is not starting Bo Nix at quarterback. Last time I checked, and so there's hope for them that they might score more points than Oregon. how do we expect
games really quick? How many games until Bo Nix is no longer the starter, or how bad is that Thompson kid?
2? There are 2 games until Bo Nix is no longer the starter, and that is only because Dan Lanning is scared to replace him at this point. But if Oregon fans had their way, he would already be gone. He'd already be run out of town.
Yeah.
All right, Clint, we both expect Georgia to be able to move the ball very easily in this game. Let me ask you this question. How does Georgia not score a touchdown on a drive? Let me just paint you a picture. Georgia receives a punt.
Yep.
Explain the scenario where they don't score a touchdown on that drive.
The only chance they have to not score a touchdown is in 2 regards.
Okay,
Daniel. Clearly, the turnover monster comes up. So
Fumble.
A fumbled snap, a fumbled exchange, a tipped ball. Okay, sure.
Yep,
sure, I got that. The second way that a touchdown is negated is based upon 2 consecutive holding penalties.
Yeah,
starting at the 40-yard line.
It's a chop block. It's a chop block and an unnecessary rough, like after the play personal foul, unnecessary roughness on back-to-back plays. That's what it. Yeah, it's. I think Georgia's going to try to keep this clock running as much as possible. Right,
we're going to get another one of those situations. Kirby's going to come out after half and be like, "Hey, you want to do that?
You want to run this clock?
You want to run the clock?
Do you want to run the clock?
I'm fine."
Now we're going to throw the ball because we're not going to help but throw the ball. But Kirby's going to try to keep this clock running as much as he possibly can, and I think that's the only hope of this not getting into the 60s, 70s because Georgia's just not going to want to have the players out there. But listen, when Brock Vandegrift comes in, I don't think Georgia's chances of scoring touchdowns go down.
No.
They don't. No. They don't. Not significantly.
The disparity, the distance between Samford and us with anybody on the field at any given time, Daniel, is such that it won't matter. It doesn't matter who's at what position.
Should not
with
matter.
Anybody on a roster.
So the line for this game, Clint, let's get to the nitty-gritty. The line for this game is 52. You can find a 52 out there.
50 burger is the line, y'all.
52 points. The over-under is 64. Is there anything about this game that you want with a 10-foot pole to touch in terms of your locks?
Please, for the love of all that is good and holy and your children's future financial solvency, do not bet on this game.
I reject your premise. And the Weldon brothers and I will be betting on this game.
Oh, no.
And I will tell you, at least for me, right now, I am locking up the under 64. I do not.
That's the only play.
That's the only play in this game. Georgia's defense, 3rd, 4th string, are going to play hard the entire game. I said 52-6, which is obviously comfortably under, but I think there's a chance that Samford scores less than that. Samford's not scoring more than 7 points in this game. There's a 0% chance that they score more than 7 points in this game. And I don't think Georgia's getting to 60 in this game.
No.
And so I like the under 64.
Say, when I said a running clock, I'm not joking. I think that's going to happen.
I like the under 64. So give me that, and we'll make that my first lock of the day.
I love it. We're going to come back after this and talk to you about other predictions that we have around college football landscape. But first, I want to let you know about Upside. Upside is a fantastic app. Inflation is hitting. Everybody's pockets are a little tighter. Not because you're flush with cash, but because there's nothing in there. And the wash has just shrunk them.
Your employer doesn't even pay you. That could be the thing.
Look, I defy you to find an employer who wouldn't give you money for your job right now, Daniel, in this inflation economy.
You're probably right.
Because that is heinous.
No one would be that low.
No one would be that low. Mm-hmm. Locked On Bulldogs we love Upside. It's a fantastic app. Daniel and I love it. It helps you. Right now, you get $5 extra. It's an app that helps you save money at the gas pump when you're shopping, all these different places. It's simple. Do this. Go get the app, put in Locked into the promo code, get $5 extra the first time you use it, and you're just going to start accumulating money for each time you shop. The simple things that you do. Upside app, go get it right now.
All right, Clint, it's time to make some money for the people, okay? If in fact your employer has chosen not to pay you, then this is your opportunity to actually profit from your week's labor. I'm gonna let you kick things off. I'm gonna let you go anywhere in the country that you want to go, Clint. Where are you gonna take the people first?
Okay, here's where I'm gonna go, Daniel. First of all, let me just state for the record.
Okay.
There's not a great deal of lovely things out there this week. Okay? You have to really hunt and peck, and you really have to find the things that you love. And it just so happens, Daniel,
there's a lot of good games this weekend.
There's plenty of good games.
That's not what you're saying.
The lines and the over-unders aren't very great, but I'm going to go somewhere, Daniel, with the one that I just don't understand in totality. Sometimes Vegas just creeps up and gives me something that I can't understand. And Daniel, call me a fool. I've been fooled many, many times before.
Sure.
Mississippi State's a good football team. They got a quarterback who's experienced, who's slinging the rock all over the yard and doing good things.
They ran the ball a little bit on Saturday as well. They ran the ball a little bit.
Arizona Wildcats do not know how to play football well, Daniel. They are in an abominable conference in a state with a team and talent and coaching that's not good. I understand that Arizona gets this game at home, but the Mississippi State Bulldogs are the better team everywhere, and they're giving 11. Now, that's double digits. I understand on the road, double-digit favorite is not that good, but this team is different. I'm taking Mississippi State, given the points. I know.
I do not like that bet. I'm not fighting you officially on the pod. I'm not locking up Arizona. Arizona went out and beat San Diego State on Saturday. Okay, San Diego State.
Okay, we're to this point.
San Diego State is what was thought to be a better team than Arizona. San Diego State is one of the favorites to win the Mountain West this year. I'm saying Arizona showed some things. Between those two programs, Arizona and Arizona State, Arizona is the one that actually has a little bit of a trajectory that's in the positive direction.
Yeah.
There are two schools I would be careful about betting against this year.
Okay.
One of them is Arizona, and the other one is Kansas. And you might wanted to have bet against Kansas this week, but I would advise against it. Kansas plays West Virginia. West Virginia is catching giving less than 2 touchdowns at home against Kansas. It's tempting to want to go JT Daniels and the Mountaineers, but I'm going to hold off on that one as well. I'm going to go to the marquee game of the weekend, Clint. Can we talk about it? Alabama fans, are you here?
Come on, Texas, Alabama. Let's roll.
We know that you're here. We know that you're listening. Locked On Longhorns, by the way. Shout out to them.
Hey,
heck of a
Locked
podcast.
On Longhorns. Go subscribe to them right now.
Let's do us a favor. Just trust us. Jonathan, great guy, runs the pod over there. Subscribe to Locked On Longhorns. Subscribe to their YouTube channel. Give them a little bump. And also, while you're there, maybe go to the betting app of choice and go ahead and take Texas plus 20.5. Clint.
Here we go. Okay.
20.5, Clint. That's too many daggone points. That's a lot of points. Okay. We're in Austin, Texas.
That's never scared anybody before in the history of the world.
Stop. You stop. All right. Is this Big Game Boomer that I'm recording the podcast with, or is this what?
I'll give you that one. The second time you're not walking out of the room standing up. Okay.
All right. We're in Austin, Texas.
Okay.
Steve Sarkisian. If you look at the talent disparity between Alabama and everyone they play except one team, the talent disparity is overwhelmingly in favor of Alabama. Alabama has more talent than any team on their schedule except for Georgia.
Okay.
But the talent disparity between Alabama's roster and Texas's roster is not overwhelmingly significant. Texas has a lot of talent on the roster. I actually think Steve Sarkisian is a good coach. I do. I actually do. I actually think
my man was listening to me preseason over here. Look at this.
Okay. I took so much heat from Georgia fans about the Georgia Tech transfer running back in this game. So I'm just going to double down. Texas has the best running back in this game by a mile.
It's not particularly close.
By 10 miles.
He should be the number one back picked in the draft.
Do you know what that means, Clint? Do you know what that means?
Tell me.
It means that Texas is going to be trying to grind out first downs, run the ball, and when you run the ball, you run the clock. You're telling me that I'm getting 20 and a half points. If I kick a few field goals, Clint, which Alabama's going to give up some points to Texas, I think it'll be interesting to see how Alabama plays against a team that at no point this season has ever trailed UConn. Okay, so far, we've never seen Alabama play against a team that's never trailed UConn before. So give me Texas, give me all those points, and I'm not scared. I'm not scared of the aura of Nick Saban. I'll take the Longhorns.
I'm scared for you. Daniel, I'm going to give you one other one before we head off to our break, and I'm going to ask you to do the same. Look, too much has been spoken about this team. About this time, this is now week 3 for this team. I know it's week 2 for Georgia, but week 3 for this team.
Okay.
What happens around this time is things start coming back down.
Interesting. Which of these teams are we going with here? Which of these week 0 teams are we about to go with?
Vanderbilt is not as good as people are imagining they are.
Wow.
Stop it now. I'm not saying they're as bad. They are not as good as you are making it. I understand Vanderbilt's getting another home. Apparently, I have a theme going this week. But the Wake Forest Demon Deacons
road favorites.
Road favorites are getting 13 against Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's not a good school. They don't have a lot of talent. I know that kid at quarterback was supposed to be something. He didn't show me a great deal. He showed me enough against Hawaii. Hawaii might wind up being the worst team in all of college football in the entire nation this year.
They are.
It's atrocious what's happening. I think Vegas is telling us something, Daniel, with that 13 number. Vegas is telling you something. Sometimes they want to trick you into it. And sometimes what they do is they ride the public opinion. And public opinion right now is high on Vanderbilt. The number of people picking Vandy to win this game is larger than I thought. Give me Wake Forest. They get the quarterback back this week. He's healthy. He's ready to go. I think they're going to have a little more oomph. I think they're going to be ready to go. Give me the Demon Deacons giving 13 on the road.
I didn't fight you last time, Clint.
Oh, here we go.
I did not officially fight you last time, but I'll take Vandy plus the 13. I will gladly fight you this time. But let me just give you a piece of advice, listener, viewer. Just wait till kickoff. You'll get 14. You'll get 14. You'll get 14. Okay.
The 14 will come.
Wait till kickoff. Take Vandy plus. I have not bet this game yet because I'm waiting till kickoff. It started at like 11.5, and now we're up to 13. Vandy is good enough on offense to keep this game competitive. Does Wake Forest defend anybody? Trick question. No, they have never defended anybody in their life. All right, real quickly, University of Texas San Antonio is, what a game, first of all, that UTSA played last week. Overtime, thriller, heartbreaker, they lost. But UTSA is only a 2-point favorite this week, and I could not love them anymore.
This is okay. Okay.
Give me the Roadrunners of the University of Texas San Antonio -2.
We're going to come back after this with more locks from college football right after this. Daniel, you gave out the Roadrunners. I don't hate it. They actually showed something last week. I'm not going to lie to you. It was It was a little bit more than I was anticipating. So
they're a good team.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Okay, talk about a bad team that lost to a bad school, and then another team that struggled. Daniel, and again, I like things coming back down to the mean. Virginia Tech Hokies are not a good football team. It appears. It appears that they're less than ideal at tackling, at running, football, at catching, at footballing, at coaching. Turns out Coach Beamer had the right idea going to South Carolina as opposed to VTech. Who would have thought we would have uttered that 10 years ago?
Ever.
Holy jeez. The Boston College Eagles are getting 3 points in this game, Daniel. They are the underdog. Now, here's why they're the underdog. Do you know what time? Do you know what time?
Because they lost to Rutgers last week is why they're the underdog.
1 point. Okay. Old Dominion or Rutgers, Daniel, you choose. I'll let you choose.
I might take Old Dominion.
Stop. Boston College is a better team. That game, if you watched any of it, that game was a lot closer than what was going on. And it was a close final score anyway. But it's a night game in Plattsburgh, Daniel. That's why there's the 3. But I don't care. Give me Boston College plus the points. Give me 3 points in Boston College to take the spread.
Talk about things coming back to the mean. Illinois, really tough week last week. Lost a game they should have won. The guy caught a touchdown pass. They ruled no touchdown catch, even though he caught a touchdown pass.
Oh, it was there. It was a
Illinois
whole thing,
then has to settle for 3 points, and that's the margin at which they lost the game, Clint. Brutal way to lose the game. Illinois was the better team last week, and they are playing Virginia at home this week. They are only giving 4.5 points, and I love Illinois minus 4.5. This, if Illinois finds, if that touchdown is confirmed and they win the game last week and Illinois is 2-0, this line is 7.5. This line is Illinois minus 7.5. But you're telling me right now I get Illinois minus 4.5?
Yeah.
That's a great number to take Illinois. Virginia is not good. Give me Illinois. And I've got 2 left, and they are both games that are going to significantly interest Georgia fans. So if you were thinking about turning off the podcast, let me stop you right there.
Loyal third segment listener. I got 2 more. They don't really concern anything having to do with Georgia whatsoever.
Okay.
I think the Baylor Bears have a big chance.
This is a fascinating game. Look,
I'm
locked in. I promise you I'm locked in
on this one. This game, BYU and Baylor, has lots of significance. BYU, mind you, can go ahead and find itself in a playoff conversation, and I'm not kidding you. If they play all year, they are fine because what happened is some numbskull went down to Florida and decided to lay an egg on the field. And Utah's done, by the way. Utah is done as a playoff team. I'm not playing.
You can. Of course they are.
Okay, well, I just wanted to let everybody else know.
Yeah.
Baylor has a shot.
They lost to a 7-win Florida team.
That's why they're toast.
Yeah.
Baylor and BYU have a chance to make a run in the playoff. BYU is a good school, but Baylor is catching points. Daniel, give me the Baylor Bears plus 4.
Yikes. This is a great game. 10:30 Eastern kick. We're going to be locked into this one. We're going to be glued to the TV. Speaking of a 7-win Florida team, Kentucky's winning this game on the field. Give me Kentucky plus 6 all day. I don't care.
They don't got running backs. They don't got running backs, Daniel.
I don't care. Florida, what if I told you Florida only has running backs?
Well, that's important.
That seems questionable. Kentucky did not play great. Florida played way better than people expected them to. I know Florida's at home, but Mark Stoops ain't scared of the swamp anymore. Okay? This Kentucky team is not scared of the swamp these days. Give me Kentucky plus 6, and then sprinkle a little bit on the money line as well. Kentucky's winning this game.
All right, Daniel, my last one that I'm going to give you. I don't hate that, by the way. I'm not going to go there because I'm a little nervous. If I'm going to be totally honest, I'm a little gun shy. I don't have the bravado you do, and you said Florida is going to be the best team Georgia plays all year. That's wildly interesting. Last one I'm going. You talked about them earlier being, if you had to choose between the 2 Arizona schools, you would choose Arizona instead of Arizona State.
Correct.
Okay, what if I was to tell you that Arizona State is going on the road to a top-ranked, possible playoff-bound team, or at least conference championship, and only getting 11 points on the road? Daniel, Oklahoma State Cowboys are giving 11 to Arizona State at home when they have their entire season to play. Give me Oklahoma State.
Yeah, take Oklahoma State in this game. I love that bet. I love it. I love it so much. Last one I'm going to go with is the Pitt-Tennessee game. Another
Here it is.
Fantastic game. Ooh. Okay. let me just say this. There's a lot of angles at which you can bet this game.
Lots.
All right. So you have to think, what kind of a game is it going to be? And what is my best chance to cash?
Okay.
What kind of a game does Tennessee win? What kind of a game does Pittsburgh win?
Close.
What kind of, like, how many points are scored when Tennessee wins? How many points
50.
are scored when Pittsburgh wins?
21.
What's the thing that could happen that would happen that I would cash in any of the scenarios? Right? That's what the question you have to ask yourself. And I think the answer is Pitt team total under 30.5. Okay? The Pittsburgh team total
that is a beautiful bet.
Is 30.5.
Go
okay?
bet that right now, y'all.
Go take it. Pitt team total under 30.5. If Pitt I promise you, Pat Narduzzi is going to bed tonight praying to the deity of his choice that his team scores less than 31 points in this game. He hates scoring points. He hates points.
He don't know what that air raid is. What's an air raid? I don't know what that air raid is.
So if they have their way, they are going to bleed this
Milk
clock.
it out.
Clint. They're going to bleed it. Okay? So that's good for me. If Tennessee comes out and just punches them in the mouth at their home stadium, sucks all the air out of the building.
Yep.
Now all of a sudden, Pitt is trying to play a game that's not their game, trying to catch up in this game. Well, that's not going to be a recipe for scoring a bunch of points, Clint, when you're trying to do things that you're not set out to do, you're not cut out to do. So either way, I like the Pitt team total under. I think they might win this game. I think they might lose this game, but it doesn't matter because I just need them to score less than 31 points.
Go get that right now. Hey, this has been Locked On Bulldogs, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. We'll be back tomorrow doing Excited, Nervous, Don't Sleep On right here. See you guys then.